YouTube, and we're live on Instagram as well. Let's see what comments come our way. It is another track help session today. It's always a pleasure to have Marcel. We're going to be expecting Jacob as well, and hopefully Guillermo from Mexico. He has a track map he wanted to go through, and he sent me a direct message regarding that. Put a hi in the chat if you're joining. It is a fine Sunday evening where we have a couple of indoor tracks actually to review today. And we'll just run you guys through what's been going on in the academy the last week or so. Marcel, have you seen any of the new resources that we added?
Yeah, I did read up on them. So yeah, I did see, and I tried the AI, so that was really cool.
That's what the karting assistant and fitness coaches, a new all dedicated tool for you guys to use. So when we talk about the karting assistant, that's someone who'll answer your questions straight away. Now, it's trained with all of my knowledge base from karting and other resources as well. So a lot of you guys have questions. Karting assistant will answer it instantly, in depth. Then we got the fitness coach as well, who'll find out what equipment you've got, what your goals are, weight loss, weight gain, muscle gain, what kind of workout equipment you have, and it'll put together an in-depth plan for you. So that is something you've got to check out if you're obviously preparing from the fitness side of things. In terms of today's track help session, we're going to, over the next hour, go through Jacob's footage. Hopefully, if he can get it sorted. I know he's having some issues now. GoPro app, it's giving him a hard time.
I do the same as you. I downloaded my PC only and then use VLC. That's way better.
And then we've obviously got Marcel's footage, or Marcel's son's footage from Uden. What's up, Jacob? What's up, Noah? Noah, welcome back. How are you, Jacob?
I need to reconnect. I have some error.
Go for it. Go for it. What's up, Noah? Welcome back.
Yo, what's up, bro?
How have you been, Noam? You got any footage for today to share with us?
Yeah.
You have? Okay. Have you shared it on the Academy page?
No, I haven't. I just got home.
Awesome. Well, over the course of the next hour, just like I explained to Marcel, we're going to go through Marcel's footage, Jacob's footage, and then hopefully if we get time, we're going to go through yours just towards the end to wrap up. All right?
Yep.
Let's get started with Marcel, since Jacob is sorting out some of his technical issues.
No. We can start.
Start with you. Perfect. What we're gonna do is actually discuss. We're gonna have to discuss. Just to bring up the track name over here. If you can tell me the pronunciation, is it Brno? Kart Arena Brno?
In Czech accent it's Brno, but like in English it's
Brno.
just Brno.
Nice, excellent. So I understand that this is going to be a track which you're going to be going on a school trip with, which is always exciting. Have you seen the memes where?
I think I know what you.
The Niki Lauda movie one.
No.
Basically putting your visors down, you and your friend, and it's a class go-kart race. So I need to try and find that for you guys. Maybe no one knows what I'm talking about. Or maybe someone in the chat knows. Huh?
What?
It's the meme where teacher announces we're going karting as a school trip, and then me and my friend look at each other putting their visors down.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be Jacob, right? This upcoming trip.
Yeah.
Jacob, if you're able to bring up a track map of Kart Brno, that'll be really helpful.
It's indoors, so I don't think I can.
Ah, right. They don't even have anything on their website.
I can look back. I don't think.
Take a look if you can. I'm just going to give you a quick overview of what I observed based on this footage we got from, who is it? Pavel. So first of all, it's electric karts. Now, when you have electric karts on this kind of surface, it's always going to be tricky with grip. Now, some corners might have more grip, some might have less. Just be mindful that you're not sliding too much. This is an interesting combination of surfaces. This majority has, well, this bank corner, especially that we went past, has a wooden section. That tends to be temperature dependent, right? There's lots of tracks in UK, for example, Team Sport, which Guy Williams is obviously used to. They have a mix of asphalt and wood. So obviously you've got this asphalt or slippery surface over here. So just be mindful of that. When you're looking at a new track, I understand you've only been once a few years ago as well, right?
I was like 3-4 times maybe, but it was like 2-3 years ago maybe.
And it's before you started taking karting seriously as well, right?
Yeah.
Maybe you're just going for fun.
Yes.
Well, when it comes to a new track, there's going to be lots of similarities between corners, right? As we said, tends to be hairpins, chicanes, and normally right or left-handers. It's important to understand that this track relies on momentum, and that's where I'm going to bring up my pen so I can show you guys. It's all about getting the best possible exits. These tight corners are there to slow you down, right? It requires a level of skill, right? Some corners will require braking. Other corners might rely an early lift. I'd say that's your best bet. Whatever you're going to do at this track, make sure you're using majority of the width. Now, for example, this is the start finish line. This is how we start our lap. This clear track limits marked by barriers and tires. So as opposed to an outdoor track where you obviously would have a curb of some sort, here our track limits are defined by the tires. So it's important at corners not leaving too much gap to the inside tires. When we have hairpin turns, for example, like this, again, the track limits such as the inside tires or the outside barriers are good references. What we try to do on entry for hairpins, we try to slow it down early, get on the brakes before the apex of the turns. How do we get the best possible exit out this corner? Early brake, relatively wide entry, and make sure as you slow the car down and turn, it's about at this spot, we start transitioning off the brakes and back onto the accelerator. Again, use your tire at the inside for a reference. And this is going to be an important opportunity to see, are you leaving time on the table? Make sure you're coming right up to the tires. We don't want to leave any gap there. As I mentioned, you're trying to prioritize exit speed. This is all flat, full speed from the left into a relatively sharp right, based on the sound of this driver's kart and also how quickly he goes through there. This is just a roadblock, I would say. So think about placement of the kart. What this driver is doing is trying to use all the track and now take the shortest line possible. So from the outside to the right-hander that's coming up, try to reduce the meters. Yeah, we don't want to be going unnecessarily to the right and then come back to the left, or enter from the left and then end up back on the right. No, just take the shortest path possible. Reason you want to keep your momentum up over here, it could be a chance to overtake. Here we got a nice reference point, and I would use this, again, tire wall on the left-hand side, or black barrier, as a reference either for a brake or a lift. Feel out what works better. The earlier you can do the brake or lift, the easier it is going to be to go through this corner. Perhaps when you build more confidence up, after you do a couple of sessions, you can probably go through this flat. If you're turning sharp enough and maybe even leaning sharp enough. I think the trickiest corner is coming up off the track over here, which is the banked corner. Banked corners are always awkward because it doesn't feel right going through there. You feel like you're going sideways somewhat. But these corners, you got to think of it as a Mario Kart layout. Have you played Mario Kart before, Jacob?
Also, like maybe 3 years ago.
Yeah. Well, Mario Kart, they have these banked or ramps like this, and then normally there's a speed boost, right? I remember, is it the Luigi circuit? That was one of my favorite ones. Yeah, we're going back to the Nintendo Wii days, just like this. And what you want to do over here is, trust the kart, find where the grip is. If you're able to take it with initially an early lift and then laying the accelerator back down through the corner. Make sure you're closing the gap to the inside apex. What we don't want to do is stay too much in the middle, right? Try to take the tighter line, and that could make you faster. I'm going to show you the NASCAR technique now, right? Which may make you the fastest driver at this track. It may make you the slowest driver. You may have seen in NASCAR, when they have a corner like this, was one driver who rode the outside wall, actually.
But it's not
Full
a
speed.
good idea.
I don't think this track is a good idea. I can see already some dents. So
Yeah. That's why I would try it, but I don't think with this much bounce.
it's a school trip. Maybe one of your friends are gonna go for that, but I would give the NASCAR line a go one at a time.
We are a really small class of like 9 people, so, but
Okay.
most of them will be karting for their first time, so it's gonna be.
Gotcha. Most important thing, get a good exit out that banked corner, and now you're coming on to, I'd say it looks like a tricky section. The last couple of corners.
Yes, this is the section I was worried about because it looks.
What worries you the most for this section?
This corner looks like really sharp.
What's worrying you for this corner?
No. Play it more forward. Like
The right
this
into the left, yeah?
No, this one in front.
Gotcha. This left-hand corner.
Because the apex is so weirdly placed.
Yeah, exactly. Very, very awkward corner. All you got to think about, how can I be fast coming out of this corner? The driver on board has done. He's done fast in, slow out. So he's carried lots of speed on entry.
Yeah.
And then he's coming to an abrupt halt because the sequence gets tighter and tighter. Think about sacrificing time early in the corner and also placing the kart appropriately. So this is almost a triple hairpin turn. So it's going to be a right and then into double the triple. We'll see. We'll try to figure it out as we get along. It's a left, right. I see what they mean. Okay, so it's a left, right, left. So it is a triple hairpin of some sort. What you want to do is try to make your entry for the first part relatively wide. You see all the space on our left-hand side? Try to use a bit of that. What you're doing, although you're opening up the corner slightly, right? Especially on a qualifying lap, you can afford to do this. Go a bit wider to the left. If it's a race and you're defending, I wouldn't go too wide. Anyway, best lap time, head in wider, so you're able to have a smooth angle to take the right-hand corner. What you could do over here, actually introduce a bit of a lift, maybe a tap of the brake. So we're slowing it down early. We're trying to get all the way to the right-hand side, this inside apex. Make sure you don't miss it too much or overshoot. What the driver on the onboard does, he overshoots. Try to stay, instead of going in front, more to the middle. If not, again, back to the right. So you're opening up the angle for this last corner. And as you take the last corner, make sure you're not positioned too tight. See, what's happened over here is we're literally alongside this left-hand barrier. Now we're going to have to stamp on the brakes again and then do a sharp left-hand turn. I want you to be somewhere all the way over here. From the outside part, it'll be so much easier. Wider entry you have, then to come all the way back to the left. You may have to introduce the initial lift early on. You may have to go for even a tap of the brake. But as long as you keep it constant, make sure you're not stopping at the apex, then you know you're carrying decent speed. So just to wrap up about this track then, I would say it's about momentum. How can you keep your momentum high? Go for early brakes, whether it's in the hairpins. Make sure you're accelerating out of the corners. For the banked corner, which is coming up, a couple of lines we said you can take, yeah? Maybe the NASCAR line or the karting line. You decide. And then the final sector, which is coming up, slow in, fast out. Make sure you're using all of the track. So think of it. I need to be fast at this last corner, which is the third left-hander. So from the outside, cut to the right. Make sure we're using a bit of the track on the right to cut back to the left. When is this school trip that you're doing? Is it like in a couple of weeks? Is it recent? Is it soon? Sorry,
it's not this Friday, but the next Friday. And
the next Friday? Okay,
we have it really close to our school, so
that's nice.
good.
Are there any other drivers who do karting or who think they have a good chance?
Yeah. My best friend is there, and I know one guy. I think he isn't as quick as us two, but he's still I know he got it.
Well, I think you're the only one who's taking advice on how to win. So hopefully this can help you, yeah? Beat them.
Yeah.
Jacob, we're going to have to move on to the next driver. We got Marcel and then Noam. If we have time, then we can hopefully go to your second or third query that you had. I know you had some other footage. Otherwise,
I want to look at the Poland footage because the SWS probably will be ready to the next stream, but now it isn't.
Don't worry. What we're gonna do is hopefully, if you don't have time today, then we're gonna go for it in the next track help session. And I'm excited to announce that we are going to add another track help session. That track help session you're going to see on Saturday at 9 a.m. GMT. So if you think back before, past couple of months, we were doing it at 6 a.m. GMT. It looked like that wasn't a popular time for people, but certainly the day was. So we're going to shift it 3 hours later, 9 a.m. GMT, that is. And what that will help us do is get more people from Australia, more people from Malaysia, more people from India join, because there's a big community out there. That track help session, we're going to keep it private. So we're not going to live stream on YouTube like this. That's going to be for our Academy members. You're free to join 9 a.m. GMT starting from next week. On top of that, guys, I don't know if you guys have been following, we've been having different guests on the Saturday podcast, which is Race Talk. Guys, did anyone catch the talk with Alan Khoury? Anyone tune in or catch the replay?
I did catch
Yeah,
the
I saw a
replay.
little bit.
I thought so far
I
this
did.
was this was a very, very insightful chat. And I love how Alan went in detail from how he started in rental karts. He then obviously went on to establish his own team, and now they're defying the odds. They're becoming more and more successful. So Race Talk is going to continue, hopefully every week, barring we have enough guests. But that's going to be on a Saturday, and that will be attached to the additional track help session, the private one, which we're keeping for our Academy members. What's up? Is it Segan? What's up, Segan?
Hi,
How are you, Segan? Welcome to Track Help.
thank you. I'm doing good, thanks.
Where are you joining us from?
Birmingham.
Excellent. Is it cold? Is it snowing?
No, not yet.
Well, we had some people from Surrey join us last week, and I think the weather, based on their footage they shared, was pouring down with rain and close to snowing as well. It's your first time on Track Help. When did you join the Academy? When did I admit you in?
I'm not quite sure. I think it was a while ago.
Yeah. This year or last year?
I think it was last year.
Okay, excellent. And did you join by getting a notification, maybe on a YouTube video or from the website? How did you come across the Academy?
It was on a YouTube video.
Super, super. Do you have any track map or footage of your own which you wanted to go over?
Not really. I just joined to have a look what everyone else is doing.
Excellent, excellent. Well, just to run you through the format, as I said, we're running this every Sunday as we are now. We're going to add the Saturday session as well from next week. What you do to join like you are, you're more than welcome to just spectate and see everyone else's footage. The way you submit your own footage is you go to the pinned link on the Academy portal, and then you just leave a track map, a YouTube video, and then of course a description of what you want me to go through with you. So like Jacob, he put a description and a couple of bits of footage. We're going to go over to Marcel now. His track was another indoor track and broke his PB, which we're going to go on to next. So in future, I mean, what's your local track, Segan?
It's probably Team Sport Birmingham, but I'm hoping Power Media can come along so I can get some footage on his GoPro.
Excellent. You're friends with Harry?
Yes.
We love to hear that. Now Harry's a great driver, and now he's doing good photography as well. So keep supporting him, yeah. And I'm sure he'll lend you a camera to use, yeah, for one of the
Yes,
sessions.
that's what I was hoping.
All right, we're gonna have to go on to Marcel's footage now, Segan. But just sit
Yep.
tight and enjoy the analysis. All right.
Yeah, will do. Cheers, bud.
I've got one question for Sigan. How much does it cost in Birmingham team sports for a session?
It usually costs around £40.
And that's in 10 minutes or 30?
That's 30 minutes for
Cool.
45. Yeah.
Cheers. I love to visit Birmingham, that's why.
Yes, it's a very good place. I like it there. We should race sometime.
Cool.
There you go, Marcel. You know who to contact when you visit Birmingham.
Absolutely. Been there a lot, but actually. So
Have you done any karting there?
no. Just with the wife to the Bull Ring shopping center, things like that.
You got to try out Segan's track, Team Sport Birmingham, and then Daytona Tamworth, which is nearby, but that's the outdoor exhilarating track, you can say. They give you the Rotax engine karts to drive.
Oh, wow.
Crazy.
Cool. That's really cool.
Marcel, I didn't realize initially that this was your son, because of course when you reminded me, you said your son was taking the GoPro this time, but
Yeah.
like
I
father,
thought
like
I
son,
was the
similar
old
movements,
man,
similar styles, huh?
Yeah.
You know what I was impressed about is his adaptation to what we discussed last week. I was telling you to apply an early brake technique and more slow and fast out approach. How did that work? Were you able to implement that?
Oh, absolutely. And those little S's, it's not really a chicane combination, but that saved me a lot of time.
You did, right? And
Yeah,
yeah,
it absolutely did.
we specifically went over that chicane. I'm just going to skip to 6:26 because that was the lap I saw as well, and is the fastest lap. What were the tips the marshal or the steward was giving you guys as well?
Basically, that was the other corner we discussed last week.
Yeah.
And you said to me, you need a bit more to the outside. You need to brake a little bit earlier. And he saw us doing that. I said, that is all right, but you do need to go a bit deeper into the next corner before turning into the next corner. We were not deep enough.
This corner, right? The hairpin?
No.
Okay. We're coming up
It's
to it, right? Soon.
Almost, yeah.
Just trying to think back to...
This one.
Aha, interesting. So go...
We go a little bit deeper, so he can be on the gas already now.
Aha, right. And this is like a winding left and a right into a left. Just to observe the footwork over here, it looks like it's a tap of the brake mid-corner, right? From the right to the left.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Tap, turn.
Your speed is quite high there already, so you need to do that.
Excellent.
And here is tapping in the middle of the chicane session, and that was your tip, and it's really helpful.
You know, these chicanes, just by looking at you have to almost muscle the cart left, right, left, because it comes at you so quickly, the corners.
Yeah, I was exhausted.
Yeah, I was gonna say, when you try that new line, it's gonna be a workout in itself, and just to stay consistent. But it adds to the challenge, of course, and then that rounds off our lap. Just to go over then some specific corners after that session. Which ones are you still struggling with? You trying to try new lines out, perhaps?
That will be the corner just after the sign with the lap times.
So after the first corner.
Yeah, this is corner one for me then, and after that one you get a combination, and I'm still having some trouble. He doesn't, but he's a bit wide here. But
it's the left, yeah, through there. That's the turn you're
this
talking
one,
about?
yeah. It's all about timing and your braking, and so
yeah. So the awkward turn two, you can say.
Yeah.
Pass right into a left, and then you can see the brief straight. This is the most important thing. When we look at corners like this, it's about, do we have a long enough straight to prioritize maybe slightly wider exit, or just go purely for exit speed. Sometimes if there's a sharp hairpin, or if it's like a double hairpin sequence, then you position placement of the card over the exit speed. But that's a nice Easter egg. We find max expectation, you guys. Maybe that helps. For this left-hand corner, you got to understand how much speed you're entering into it. So of course, it's a corner which requires braking and then decent acceleration, because we want to be fast coming under this timing board. A couple of ways to do it is to hug the right-hand side barrier. This is a nice reference. And you can see that the outside tire barrier naturally opens up on this right-hand side. So what you want to do, although your eyes are going to be focused towards the next corner, and it almost distracts you to take a sharper, tighter line, you could try to sacrifice an extra meter or two to go for a wide entry, similar to what your son is doing over here. You can also see he's putting deliberate and intentional steering input to go wide to the right, but combine that with an early brake. So what I would say is, as that corner turns to the right, you can see just as the barrier is curved to the right, and then it just straightens up here, this very brief patch. How is it in real life? Can you see this corner straighten up, or can you feel it?
Yeah,
open
no,
up?
you really can see it, and you can feel it. The only problem I have, I need also braking for rotation, because
Interesting.
as of last week, those cars are really understeered.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm trying to brake as late as possible to use it to slow down and rotate, because if I slow down here already,
Mm.
then a turn, nothing happens, and that will f up my my corner.
Interesting. Couple of things you can try then. Use the steering wheel to slow the car down, right? What I mean
Oh,
by that is
yeah.
a very sharp turn-in and a fixed turn-in. So you might go on the brakes. I mean, at the moment, where are you braking? Is it deep into the corner? You're saying you're going for a late brake, maybe somewhere here? Or
Yeah,
somewhere?
maybe really on the first arrow you brought on that white
Interesting,
patch.
interesting.
Yeah, I
The
need to
thing-
do that, but
Yeah. I understand where you're coming from, but just by the tightness of this corner, and also our priority is to get onto gas soon, try this out. It's an earlier brake, right? Slightly earlier than normal.
Mhm.
And then one fixed angle of steering. That initial angle has to be committed. So it's like, I'm turning and I'm going to stick to that. And that combination of brake and turn, slow the car down, give you rotation as well. And you'll feel that coming off the brakes a lot sooner than, for example, we're doing in this video. Because over here, we're applying the brakes into the corner, and then you're just releasing, or your son is releasing just after the apex, right? Try to do the opposite to that. So you got to just force yourself, as this corner opens up to the right, I'm going to tap the brakes. I'm going to go for a sharp turn in. And how do I know that I've slowed the cart down enough, or I'm carrying enough braking in the corner? Well, I'm comfortable to get on the gas at least as the apex starts over here. See how that works. What we're trying to do there, as we said, sacrifice that bit of time on entry, widen up the corner to get the best possible exit, benefit from a bit of early acceleration. I think that's what's necessary, especially here, to get the boost under this timing board and then prepare for this hairpin, which is coming up. So far, I mean, I know you've done limited sessions there.
Yeah.
What's your line? You're saying it's wide, late brake.
and I try to be wide,
Yep.
but it's not always working out for me. Maybe because I'm going too fast, and
Gotcha.
can be that I do not handle the cart enough. But
In my
I'm just
experience, in understeery carts, I try to avoid late braking, because the understeery carts require more braking or even firmer braking. So what I like to do is go for the more slow in, fast out approach, where it's early on the brakes, and I have time to either smoothly get onto the brakes and ramp up to a peak pressure. So if I'm doing something like this and then I hit my peak pressure, then I get some rotation off the brakes, or I can be more aggressive on the brakes and then get to the peak pressure, get rotation, release off. That's one thing to note as well. Kart to kart.
And,
General,
and
yeah.
a combination of an early softer brake and a
Mm.
later softer brake to do the rotation. Is that an option, or is that too hard to do?
It's a great question. It really depends on the condition of your brake pads, right? And kart to kart is going to change because the mechanics are always changing it up. If you have a kart with new brake pads, as soon as you hit the brakes, it's going to
Yeah.
be very sensitive, right? And you'll feel rotation instantly. So those karts, you don't want to be too aggressive too quickly. Otherwise, you can get too much sliding, too much rear end rotation. So that's where you can be smooth and ramp up to peak pressure. Because at the end of the day, yeah, we want to use the brakes to turn the kart. A kart which has used brake pads, which is the general case in a lot of these public karts, you're going to have to be pretty aggressive, where you have to press hard initially like this and get to that peak pressure and then control that. So what happens is suddenly the tires will lock and then you're like, oh, I'm drifting, I'm losing grip. So you have to control that by getting off the brakes and then obviously controlling it with your steering and then a bit of gas as well. Give it a bit of gas to control that. And that's something to keep in mind anytime actually you take a new kart. How are you approaching these sessions though with the karts? Is it a new one every time? Because I know it's a new track. You're not familiar with.
No, they assign numbers to names, so you cannot choose or ask for. So we get what we get. That's basically it.
Gotcha.
And the first session I had a really bad kart because my best time was 48.6, and that's 2 seconds too slow even for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I talked to the guy, the one that gave the tip of that specific corner over there. And he was really, really nice, and he was really glad I asked normal instead of swearing or what the F did you give me for a card. And in the end, the rear tires were way too soft, so I was sliding all the way.
The pressure,
the pressure, the pressure was way too low, not a bit too low, but way too low. And now I'm lost which question you had.
No, I'm going to come to that actually to round off. Just to recap what we discussed about this corner. Hopefully, is it next week you're going to the track?
Yeah, we have three Saturdays left.
Amazing. So what we'll do, just to recap the line for turn 2, try to go for an earlier break. A good reference is as this corner opens up, use all of the track wide, early break, and then try to get on the gas earlier as well. Don't leave it too late where we're releasing the brakes after the apex and then getting on gas. Hopefully that gives you better acceleration, and then we can get a faster run under this timing board. Just going back to your important observation of tire pressures and we were discussing about brake conditions of different karts. It's good to then keep a record of what karts you're driving simply by noting down the kart number. What you can do is create a document either on your phone, or you can take the driver logbook, which is, if you're really serious, you can make notes in there. Just simple things about condition of the tires, right? Condition of the brakes that you felt. Was it very sensitive? Do you have to put more and more pressure in? And then, of course, things like understeer and oversteer. Was this kart more biased to right-hand turns or left-hand turns? Was it easier to turn left? Was it easier to turn to the right? Was it neutral? And kart to kart, because you're trying a new one every session, you're going to experience that. And then, of course, if you take it to the next level, maybe this track has some competitions and all, and they do a random kart draw, then you have some data to refer back to from your practice. That kart 21 was pretty good in the straights, but too much understeer on right-hand corners.
For Ave, we are doing that. I think you know.
Amazing.
That. But
okay.
Yeah, we have an Excel with all our best times of that day per session. But for Ave, which is our regular track, as everybody knows, we have got a long list of cool cards or shitty cards or Yeah, in between cards.
No, and that's the way you keep it more interesting, and you get to bring more value to your session. So you go beyond just doing laps and then, oh, okay, this is my timing or whatever. You're focusing on kart handling now, and then based on that you can adjust your driving and make notes for future, which you're
Yeah,
definitely gonna
and the fun part is the owner knows we have this list, and
try. Okay.
they ask for the list because they had an SWS race,
All right. Yeah.
and a few weeks before summer break, they asked me, "Hey, you have card 5 in your bad cards list. Can you try it out? We think we fixed the problem, and
Yeah.
card
Yeah.
5 is in the absolute top now. So it
There
is
you go.
really cool to do those things. Yeah,
Hey, you need to start charging him for that data, huh?
no, they gave me a lot of free sessions,
There
and
you go. No, you
uh,
help each other, and you
not
love
not
to.
complaining.
Absolutely, you can't complain with free karting sessions. You love to see that relationship with the track owners, because a lot of them, once they get to know you, they will help you out and come to you for advice. And you've got a great bit of data there. So I'd say keep that up, and
Yeah, they even a few times already put 2 cards up front for us because they know we like those numbers. So it's a really good relationship there. That's really nice.
excellent. Was there anything, Marcel? Anything else you want to cover before we move on to the next driver?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Thank you very much.
It's been a pleasure. I look forward to seeing how you get on with the new line that you're going to try at turn 2, and hope to see more personal records. Yeah,
Yes, please.
we're going to go over to the YouTube live chat. We got a comment let's go to Instagram first. A couple of people saying hello. What's up to Marlo? What's up to Hamoud? What's up to Caleb? We got Sebastian asking, I need help. We got Solomon as well on YouTube saying, I need help. Guys, the KTips Academy is a place to be. So head over to the KTips website and join the academy. You'll get a free 7-day trial. Yeah, so you can try this out. You can join all of the track help sessions like you're watching here. As I mentioned, we have a Sunday and now a Saturday session, which we're going to be adding, which is going to be at slightly earlier time. Additionally, you got these resources, right? Talking about it early in the session today. You got a karting assistant who'll answer all your karting questions instantly, and a fitness coach who'll give you personalized diet and workout plan. And then come over and connect with the community. Yeah, it's a global community we got here. As I said, we got a pinned comment where you can introduce yourself. In the last week or so, we had Gabriel from Portugal join. He's just starting his karting journey, and his goal is to race in WEC. So he's going for rally. Interesting. We had Kezad from Bangladesh. I race in Courtside, which is a small track. Unfortunately, 2 big turns, but slowly more go-karting areas are being built, and I'm excited. I think Bangladesh is on the rise, and especially that part of Asia, there's going to be more and more tracks. And then we had Nick as well, or Nicholas. I'm from Austria, and I recently turned 17. I want to start professional karting and make up to Formula 1, hopefully. Well, Nicholas, karting is the place that you start at. So Solomon and Sebastian, go over to the KTips website, and anyone else who wants to join, and this is the place to be to improve your timings. Noam, you still there?
Yes, sir.
Noam, did you manage to get your footage recorded
Yeah.
or
It's
uploaded?
actually, can I just send it in the chat in here?
Yeah, go for it.
Uh,
It's a YouTube link, right?
Yeah. It's not my POV, but it's my trainer. He's right behind me. So
Right. What's his name?
Victor.
Victor, that's it. Victor is one of how many coaches there?
He's
at
the
Racehorse?
main coach, but
Yeah.
I'm also a coach there. I coach the
Awesome.
other teams.
You're the 2024 champion, right?
Yeah.
There you go. That's the perks of winning. That you can then advise the upcoming drivers. Yeah. I mean, in terms of, before we get onto the footage, how has the coaching been there? Is it recently you've started?
No, I've been there for like I started karting 2 years ago, and I started here.
And coaching wise, you started that recently.
Yeah, this year.
And who are you teaching so far?
All of the other teams.
Okay, so do you have like fixed days in the week and hours you got to go there and run the training session?
I mean, we show up at for training or our training at 7:25 in the morning,
Okay,
and then we finish at 9 o'clock, and then right after we put on our officials vest, and then the other teams go out.
awesome, awesome. What does a typical coaching session look like for your drivers that you do?
It varies, but
Yeah.
today we had some Grand Prix training, so that contains of a rolling start, 6 lap race, and 1 Joker lap. And today we did it our Joker lap through the pits.
Excellent. Okay, you got variety of layouts, yeah, to try.
Yeah. Could you skip to or scroll back to the heat one just to
Let
start?
me go to the sub heat one. What's up, Hassan? Whilst we do that, just in time for race hall footage.
Yeah,
Hi,
hi,
Hassan.
Omar.
Hi,
Hi,
Hassan.
Noam.
How are you, Hassan?
I'm pretty great actually. I've been training with Noam the past few couple of times, which the
Wait,
basically
Omar,
the
pause. Omar,
Sorry.
pause. Wait, because there's sorry, I interrupted, but there's an
No, no.
insane dive bomb coming up. So
Okay.
yeah, I saw it. I saw it.
Let's go with it. This is Victor. You
Yeah.
got to learn from the one of the best, huh? Let's see what
Yeah.
his strategy is.
he wasn't happy about this dive bomb he did. Look at this.
Whoa! Two cuts, huh? In one.
Yeah, but I got the switchback, so
Who was that? Was that you guys? He's passing.
yeah, no, it's me. He tried to pass. That's me.
In the inside or the outside?
Scroll back.
Let me go back.
Yeah, I'm right in front of him.
Oh, the
No,
black
no.
suit, black
Yeah,
helmet.
that's me.
So you defending initially, and then whoop, he comes through. And he's lucky not to.
Yeah, but
Go
there
with the
was
guy.
just no space.
So this is that 7:25 a.m. session you're talking about, the early one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're the first ones out on track.
Track is cold, I assume,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And Hassan, were you in this as well?
Yeah, but I did not do so great, in my opinion. I was at the bottom split, and last time I did a bit better, in my opinion. I got in the heats. It was basically the same style of races, and then I got some P5s and P8s. I'm pretty sure, but today I was just at the bottom. So
And we're like 12 drivers, the best in the country. So
Amazing, amazing. And is it different carts that you guys do, or cart draw
yeah, we swap cards every heat.
yes,
every?
So we do one hot lap, one heat, and then repeat.
So at least it keeps you guys on top form, huh? To
Yeah.
fight each other and try different carts, and I guess test them all before you do the coaching sessions, right? Later in the day, I assume.
It's also just so it becomes fair.
Yeah.
Because I think this heat my card was a rocket ship in a straight line compared to Victor's.
Mm-hmm. What specifically in this footage did you want to review?
It's my lines in in a typical corner. If maybe just
Yep.
scroll
Which
scroll
specific
for
timestamp can we go to?
where
Heat
I'm
one?
leading. It's in heat one, maybe like
It's in-
5 minutes.
yeah,
right there, right
yeah.
there.
There we go. There we go.
He let me through because he saw
Top 30?
yeah, he let me through because he saw that I was faster and like in hopes that I would catch the others and fight.
Yeah.
But right here at the entire lap, I'm quicker than him, at least in this session. But
Let's watch a lap and then just let me know one or two specific corners that we can hopefully compare. This will
Yep.
be interesting to watch now in terms of straight line speed, because you can see that slowly,
yeah.
a few hundredths. you pull in corner exits as well, maybe.
I think it was more like top speed.
Top speed. Okay, gotcha. So it was yeah. You can see it's matched pretty much over here, and then slowly as the get more and more track to go into. Looks like there's decent amount of grip. Like it's not bad.
Yeah, it's here in January. It's the best track conditions of the year. So
Oh, okay. Any particular reason?
I actually don't know. I think it's because
I mean,
other people come in to visit. A
I
lot of
mean,
people.
um, mm, I'm not quite sure, and I haven't raced a lot. I've just raced since April or May. But my theory is that the track is really grippy, and in the January months, the tracks becomes a little bit colder, so you can rotate a bit more, if it makes sense. So you don't have too much grip on the
Mm.
track.
And
So
it's
you
that
can
sweet
rotate it.
spot.
Yeah, that's my theory anyway. I'm not quite sure.
Well,
Uh,
yep.
can
Go for
you?
it, no?
Yeah, this corner. Not this is turn 10. I'm at
Okay.
right now, and turn 11. That's where I had problems. This
This
one we
corner
just
which
passed.
we just passed. Okay.
Yeah, this one. See how much you gained?
Yeah. If we look at this lap in isolation, for example, what I want to do is just bring up my pen and just ask you a few things about your entry over here. So it's flat through the left, right? You go
Yeah.
full speed, and then your entry really. I think that's what makes this corner. We discussed many times before. Should you go middle? Should you go wide? Should you be where you are, for example? What's the normal approach you take?
Probably what I'm doing right now.
Yeah, about you can say let's say 3/4 from the inside.
Yeah. Maybe. Wait. Can you go forward like 2
Yep.
tenths? The black mark on the track where he's at right now. That's
Oh,
kind of
okay.
that's kind of your turn in point.
Interesting. And you can see on the onboard footage, he's slightly turning in as well. And in relation to the corner, yeah, it's nice. You're using the brakes over here to rotate, hard braking, or tap of the
Yeah.
brake.
It varies from card to card, but I lock up like a tiny bit so I get rotation.
Yep, and I can see that over here. You got a decent amount. I think what happened here is you went slightly deep, and then
I think I just took way too late of an apex.
very, very well observed. I was going to say that. So you started wide, you went deep in the corner, and if you look in relation to the apex, you're leaving space, and then right at the end, you're just about getting there, even a bit of a gap. Whereas Victor, it's interesting. What does he do? He goes for a slightly early turn in. He's braking at this point, right? So I'd say that's fairly deep into the corner. Watch his left foot. He's on the brakes. Now he releases. Look at that. He's back on gas before the apex, and he's gonna be so much closer as well. I think he almost takes too much curb over here. He's just kissing that inside barrier.
Yeah, you can the walls at Racehall kind of it's not just a straight line. It's like a ramp, so you can ride it a bit.
Interesting. So it's about that limit you want to find, getting up to the lip of that curve and seeing how much you can take. One thing to observe as well is where he gains the time. So look at the gap on
entry,
right? At 2 or 3 kart lengths. Do you think you brake too much or slide too much? You think at the entry?
I just think I need to take an earlier apex and
Yeah,
brake way later.
Exactly. Well, yeah.
Look what he's doing. If just go back a bit and let's see the whole corner. So
watch in slow motion.
I go wide. He turns in before.
Yeah, he's taking it tighter and he's still on the gas. And now he's on the brake. This is the first braking point. So he's holding the brakes from this part of the track, you can say. Keep watching the left foot. So he's holding brake and then he's released and back on gas. So it's a late but short braking period. And he's not really braking for too much oversteer. If you watch his steering wheel, he brakes, watch the steering wheel. He's actually turning a bit more to the right. Yeah. So it's a smooth brake, short, smooth brake. I would also say he's taking a slightly tighter line. You could try that.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
It's interesting. And personally, I find it difficult doing that because I always hit the apex too early.
Yeah, it's unnatural.
Exactly. But he's pretty much found the sweet spot here. Again, he's controlling the speed. It's important when you go tight, you have to get on the brakes at the right time. Release early enough so you can still get good acceleration, and then find the limit for the apex there. So I would say taking a tighter line, number one, like he's doing, he's gaining time. And number two, by braking late, then he's getting closer to you on the corner
Yeah.
exit. And that's a couple of tenths there. Remember, that's one lap in isolation, because maybe other laps you were taking a slightly wider approach or tighter approach.
Yeah.
When are you driving at the track next?
Next Sunday. Every Sunday.
Every Sunday. Okay. So I think it's worth now experimenting this line that we just discussed that Victor was doing. I mean, what we perceived, right, from when he was following you. All of his footage is there in that video, which is interesting because you can actually take some time out, watch lap by lap. Was he taking that consistently, or maybe just when he was following me? And then heat by heat. Is it a new kart every heat?
Yeah, we do one hot lap and then one heat of 6 laps, and then we park the carts and we switch.
Yeah.
And we do that 3 times.
You could ask him if maybe he felt his kart was slower. That's maybe why he was taking a narrower line.
Yeah, he
different cars,
left
different
in the bio of the YouTube video. He describes every card, and he also, it's in Danish, so you can't read it.
Okay.
But
To round off, let's just, if you can do a quick translation for us, because that's very insightful.
okay.
When drivers describe their
I sold every chance. Wait, I sold every chance for a better what's that, bro? It's so hard to translate fast. I sold every chance better than P6 in the first corner in the first lap. I'm satisfied with letting Noam go.
Yep.
My idea was to let him go and see if he could catch the others, and then they fight and come back to me.
Nice. That's heat 1.
Yeah.
Interesting strategy.
And then Kart support. He said lack of power, good in the corners, good rear tires, and a long brake, so a bad brake.
Okay. Yeah, maybe brake pads were worn on that one.
Yeah.
So good power, but the brakes let him down.
Yeah. No, bad power.
Oh, bad power. Okay. Oh, that's a horrible cut. And then what's the final heat?
Should I read that?
Just a overview. Was that maybe his best one?
Yeah, I was the quickest guy on track. Happy with my strategy. I was 2 tenths slower than Oliver in the same kart. So I have to figure out what I did wrong.
Okay. And I really like this. We were discussing with Marcel earlier about track notes and writing it down. Victor's found a really good way because he just puts it under the YouTube description of the video. So he doesn't even have to find documents or books, and it's just there.
Yeah, and then we can also look at it and learn from that.
Not many coaches do that. So you're lucky.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's the best way to learn, because when you can see other drivers thinking, their psychology, and how they feel how karts are. So it'd be interesting next time you take the same kart he did and feel, did this brake or did this kart feel difficult under braking, or did it feel like it had low top speed?
Yeah, it's not gonna feel the same in a week because they change it all the time.
True. Yeah, if they're doing lots of maintenance like that.
Yeah, I think it's like 2,000 drivers a week. It's a very busy track.
Wow. Well, it's one of the best in Denmark, you can say, right?
Yeah, it's the world's biggest indoor track.
Gotcha. Guys, any final things you want to discuss before we round off for today?
I mean, the only thing I really have is that I also I've just begun I've a Teen Tiny book where I've printed out a picture of the layout, and then I've just text on the right side, and then I compare my own footage to Victor's, which I actually did right before I came onto here. and then I've just written down some notes of what
Okay.
I'm doing.
What I would do, did you miss the first part of, I think you missed the first part of the session, Hassan. What we're doing is, let's save that for the next session, which is going to be on Saturday, right? If you can join. Otherwise, next
Yes.
week on Sunday. What we're doing on Saturday is bringing it earlier. It's going to be at 9 a.m. GMT. So think about it, 12 hours earlier from now. Yeah. And hopefully we can cater for more people from East Asia as well to join. Otherwise, you can join that. That track out
Don't you
session,
mean
Yeah.
later? Later than it was before?
it's going to be this is 9 p.m. GMT, right? If you look on my, sorry, I'm talking the wrong time, not 9 a.m. 6 p.m. GMT is today, and yes, correct, 9 a.m. I was saying that right. what were you saying about later?
Because you said 12 hours behind, but I thought you were referring to it usually being 3 hours earlier.
Yeah, you know what? The best option is, because we're all in different time zones. Let's look at the Greenwich or Meridian time. GMT on Saturday is going to be at 9 a.m. Okay,
And
so
it was 6 before, right? That's what I meant.
it was exactly that. So what we had issues where for some drivers it was too early, and other drivers, they were at their karting track at that time. So we shifted at least 3 hours later. Let's see how that works. That session is going to be exclusively for you guys who are in the academy, right? Other people want to join. It's not going to be live on YouTube. So I'm going to put a post on the academy page just like this. So make sure to comment when I put the pin post up later today, your footage. Hassan, you said there's some pictures of a driver logbook or some notes you took.
Yeah, I have.
If you're able to join that Saturday session, just comment it like these drivers have done and put a
Yes.
description of,
Okay.
of what we can review. So hopefully in the next session, we're going to catch up. Next week, Sunday, 6 p.m. GMT, we're going to be live on Track Help, YouTube, Instagram. That's the place to go. Until then, guys, I will see you on Saturday. Take care. Good night.
Bye.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.